right? But I don't think genetic superiority has anything to do with intelligence. It has everything to do with your ability to survive on this planet to the fullest, right?
Right.
You have whatever it takes to survive. And if you're genetically weaker, right, then you're going to be prone to other things like diseases and whatever else, right? Whereas a person who is genetically stronger is not prone to these diseases. They don't catch these more or less, right? So that's how I seen genetic superiority, right? And not only being being adapted to the environment, but you also are in tune with the energies of the planet, the vibration, the rhythm, the universe, right? All this um, is in the genes, right? So this is how I seen, you know, in regards to genetic superiority. It had nothing to do with intelligence whatsoever.
I think we agree, man. Like a lot of what we just said, agreed. Like I don't see the disagreement.
No, no, the only difference is that you attached intelligence and the banking system to superior genes. I'm not
No,
attached
I was giving an example of
to the
I was giving
genes.
an example of people with higher genetic construct have a better ability to understand things, and financial markets is one of them. I think that they have a better like it's a fact, man. Like if you have a stronger genetic makeup, you can understand things in the environment a lot stronger than other people. So why can you not translate that to
Okay,
financial services?
here's a question. Gaddafi, right? Now, many people is suggesting that Gaddafi was killed not because he was a tyrant, not because he was killing his people, but he wanted to back money with African gold, and
Right.
that
No,
crush.
he wanted to take his
Just,
oil.
just a
No,
moment.
that's not what happened. That's not what happened.
Let me finish, and then you can tell me what happened. I'm just telling you other things that I read, being open minded, right? He wanted to unite all the countries in Africa. He wanted to back their money by gold, one currency, right? And this is the true reason why they killed Gaddafi. Now, if that is the case, let's say that is true, right? Then that pretty much debunks the whole idea that somebody's genetically superior in regards to a banking system. If you gotta kill somebody else off, right? In the same context of dealing with money and banking, right? That means you're only superior because you're protecting your assets by force of arms using weaponry, not because of intelligence, right? It's like if either you accept our banking system or we're going to swarm down on you with our military and we're going to destroy everything you built, including you. Now, is that really intelligence or that's like more so bullying? You
The
see what I'm saying?
reason
So if they're doing it now, right, protecting their banking system by force of arms, then they always did it since the onset. You see? So this is why I don't think just because somebody was crafty enough to able to manipulate other people into taking loans, right, and then paying back astronomical prices has anything to do with genetic superiority, right? I think that
well,
was I think that was a crafty plan. People was in need during the time in Ashkenaz, which is now called Germany, right? They
Right.
got the loans from these people. They got in debt, right? And that's pretty much the beginning of the banking system, right? It was over there in Ashkenaz, over there in Germany. They started over there, right? And somehow, some way, that shit spread through Europe, spread to America, and spread through the world, backed by a military that's going to protect it. 'Cause at the end of the day, cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, dollar bill, y'all. You understand, right?
I mean, yeah, you mixed a lot of subjects, but I mean, I don't agree with a lot of that.
Okay, tell me why. We having a discussion.
Like, Okay, so you try to mix. Here's the thing. Fuck, we went really far off genetic makeup for determination. So, yes, man, we went really far off topic.
Okay, but take your time. Take a deep breath. Usa.
Exactly. Big Worm says run that back. We went off topic. We were talking about genetic makeup for determining intelligence. Now I don't know where we're at.
Okay, fine. Leo, you're next.
7 AD. So a little less than 600 years or so ago, the richest man on earth was a black man, as they known and clarified. So the banking system, which isn't that great, we have Rob here in the room. He knows about this. The banking system today isn't really all that impressive. Really, how capitalism has thrived is really due to the transatlantic slave trade and chattel slavery here in this country. That's what really, really, really kicked
There's no
off
such thing in
capitalism.
2020 about that, dude. You're just
Yes, there's a
bring
direct connection
in
because they didn't pay
2020
the
there's no such thing,
labor.
man.
They didn't pay that
No.
free slave labor who built this country.
No,
So
you're
capitalism,
no, that was
that's true.
150 years ago. Come
I
on.
didn't cut you. I
Let's
didn't cut you off, Truth, man. How you gonna cut a brother off?
You're
I
saying
didn't
that
cut you
that's
off.
you're comparing 2020 to 150 years ago. Okay, I'll
Well,
shut up.
no. Well, yeah, I just made the correlation that you mentioned that Mansa Musa was over 1,000 years or so ago, and that whites have genetic superiority because you guys are so great with money. And I'm pointing out to you that the richest man in the world 600 years or so ago was a man named Mansa Musa, and Mali, a black man, number one. And number two, capitalism, since around the 14 to 1500s in the transatlantic slave trade, that really kicked off capitalism and the ability for whites to drive this exploitative banking system that we live in to this day for the last 5 to 600 years. And it's unjust. It's based off of exploitation of the masses. There's around 1 billion people on Earth 200 or so years ago, around 1800. There's only 1 billion people on the planet. Today, there's close to 8 billion people on Earth. So in 200 years, our human species has went from 1 billion to 8 billion closely in 200 years. That right there allows people to be exploited. And you have a lot of rich, super, super rich, and many masses of us are poor and trying to, live day by day. So this white structure you mentioned, this financial structure that you mentioned is so great and so grandiose. It's really not so great and grandiose if you look at things in the big picture.
The key word that I attached to was exploited, right? So if we have a system that exploits other human beings,
Right.
right, then
And that's
you
really
can't.
not anything about intelligence. That's really so much so you just being brute force, or they figured out a tactic at this point in time. It's like history has gone, up and down. It was ruled by black, and then sometimes there's lighter skinned people, and there's throughout history, there's whiter people. It transitions through time. There's superpowers, and then empires fall off. So it's cyclical. So that's all it is, just a cycle wherein a group of people have figured things out for a temporary moment in time, and the day will come where Europeans will fall off. They're already talking about it now. White genocide. Whites aren't reproducing. Whites are
That's true
minority in the
though.
next
That's
20
a
or 30
real
years.
thing.
See, so my point is, you guys are already talking about losing your grip on the globe. So that was my point.
Well,
It's not,
that's why there's lots of people fighting for it, which is it's a good thing.
Just to add on to the Mansa Musa thing, because I studied Mansa Musa about 20 years ago, and what stood out to me was that he was a Muslim, and when he made his Hajj,
right,
he brought so much tons of gold into Mecca, right, or Arabia, Saudi Arabia, right, that he totally changed their economy forever,
right.
right? It's like he gave them such a how can I say it? Such
A
upgrade,
windfall. Yep, a windfall.
economic upgrade.
Exactly.
That's what he gave them, so
Right,
economic upgrade, right? This is before the oil was found,
right, right. Exactly,
right?
exactly.
But do they say thank you?
No, they
Thank you,
don't.
Mansa Musa, for the economic upgrade you gave
They
us.
don't. Yeah,
Absolutely.
basically, he gave them reparations. He gave them, basically a quantitative easing, a bailout, so to speak, in perpetuity.
Uh-huh.
Some people have that, by the way. I know Damien left that part out as well. It's not genetic superiority. Sometimes wealth gets passed down generationally amongst groups of people, and it doesn't get shared
It's
unjustly.
not fair. That's not a fair thing to say.
Well, like Trump. Trump
Like
got money hand.
just
It's born
like
with a silver spoon in your mouth. So
just
Yo, what's
because
up,
like
y'all? What's up,
just
Leo?
because
What's up,
my
Juju?
what's up with
What's
you,
up,
bro?
just
Truth Raider?
because
You still
what's up,
collecting
Buck?
Bitcoins?
Hey, what's up, brother?
What's up with you, man?
What's going
Doing
on, Rob?
good, bro.
Yo, so check this out real quick. I just want to hop in and say this, right? So, like, I'm looking at some of these comments, and a lot of the comments are like, oh, these are left talking points, quote unquote, blah, 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 right? Okay, here's the thing, right? So even if you take away the entire system of slavery, there was still a civil rights movement that happened in 1960, and you have to look at the fact that the United
Right.
States of America had to be corrected, and they had to have civil rights amendments to the Constitution implemented. So people need to get away from this innocent bullshit like, oh, the United States didn't do anything, and you just need to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and all this dumbass shit. In 19 after civil rights movement, when blacks were actually finally given human rights that everybody else was supposed to have, that shit still affects people that are alive today. So even if you take away the entire slavery argument, this country is still so fucking immature and retarded. It took them to 1960 to give people the rights that were necessary. And then
Right.
even beyond that, they still needed to be corrected even more because half of you motherfuckers are so racist and retarded. They had to put EEOC and civil rights
Right.
commissions in each state government to check you motherfuckers on how you don't let people get jobs and different shit like that. So don't sit there and act like this shit is imaginary. Don't sit there and act like it's a fucking conspiracy theory, because the shit actually happened. And you can talk about it was 400 years ago or whatever. Let's take away that 400 years ago and talk about what happened in 1960. So basically, that's really all I wanted to call in and say.
But
You guys
before you
supposed
go, Rob, before you go, say your last statements, but don't jump off real quick because I got a real quick question to ask you.
Okay, for sure, bro. What's up?
What's the true origin of the so-called white man?
I don't fucking know, bro. That's your area of expertise. That's why I come to your scopes.
I agree with as the fucking designated white guy on the scope. I agree with Rob, man. Like we're like I agree with Rob, like because of the Civil Rights Act and also because of the Emancipation Proclamation from Abraham Lincoln. Like there's a lot of really good white dudes that have hooked up our African American brothers to help give more freedom. So like I agree with Rob, like there's some really fucked up people out there, but a lot of my brothers have done a really good thing, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you can never judge
I
somebody
agree with
based on
Rob.
color. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to base people on their personal accolades
Yeah,
first and
Rob is
foremost, for
fair.
sure.
Rob is fair.
But I just wanted to hop in and say that, yo, Truth Raider, real quick though, Uncle Juju, let me just ask Truth Raider something, because I ain't talked to this motherfucker in like 2 years. What's up with your Bitcoins, bro? You still collecting them, or you fucking with altcoins or what?
I buy every fucking week, man.
That's what's up. All
Every,
right, y'all. Yo,
every
Juju,
week,
I'm gonna
bro.
be listening, bro. All right, Leo. Peace. Appreciate
All
you
right.
letting me in,
Peace,
fam.
bro. Sure
All
thing,
right.
bro. Stay up,
All
bro.
right.
Peace.
I was the one and only
King Rob.
right?
King Rob.
Black
Yes,
Light
sir.
Revelations. Check them out. Different platforms: Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah. Rob's a
Twitter.
good dude, man. I like Rob.
All right. So somebody said here, I think it was Leo. Leo said in the comment section, humans and apes share 98%, 8% of the
Yeah,
same.
almost 99% of the same DNA we share with
Oh,
chimps and apes.
okay,
Almost.
let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
How come we can't procreate with these same apes? We share all
Well,
this DNA,
right.
but why?
1% makes a huge difference. Right.
What is it? What is it about chimpanzee pussy
Right.
that can't produce another human being?
That doesn't
Right.
seem appropriate.
Huh? No, no, no.
I'm gonna be Juju. I'm a white guy, dude. We're not really into that. That's got to be some kind of black thing, man.
I want to know if
White
we
guys
share
don't really do that,
if
bro.
much of that DNA, almost 99%, then
Right.
what's procreation?
That's all you guys, bro.
Well, some species have like the same, DNA, and they can't procreate. I understand. I'll have to research. I've seen before certain studies, so it has to, I think, do also with other factors, like how would we go ahead and hit a chimpanzee's yoni? You know what I mean? Our
Right.
body, parts aren't the same, and it would be disgusting. Uncle Juju, you know what I'm saying? We procreate with
Yeah,
a
hey
chimpanzee.
Leo, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like Caucasian men, we don't think about that, Leo.
Well, I had to
So
backtrack. In World War II, you guys did. There was all type of studies, Nazi Germans and Americans, where they were trying to have a super soldier. So they were trying to have sex or
nah, dude.
impregnate apes with human DNA, sperm. They were trying to impregnate other animals to try to have a
Look,
superior soldier on the battlefield.
what's her
See, they
name?
try.
Well,
Is who's
in
the one that
2020,
with Pan too? What's her name?
Oh yeah, Jane Elliott, is that her name? Or
It was
no,
Jane
that's not her name.
something. And
Woodall,
came
Woodall,
up
Woodall.
she came up with a chimpanzee language, and she
Yeah.
called it Pantoot. And she says, that means go away. Okay?
Yep.
Right?
Jane Goodall. That's her name,
So
Jane Goodall.
all these years, they've been speaking in Pantoot with the goddamn chimpanzees on a hush hush.
Facts.
Right?
dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like
Jane Goodall.
you guys,
Goodall. Right?
you guys,
Right.
you guys
Yep.
you guys do your thing with the chimps, but me and my friends are not gonna be into that.
What we're saying is that certain Caucasian groups are secretly speaking with chimpanzees. The language is called Pantu, created by Jane Goodall. Go look it up. It's on YouTube.
Jane
Right?
Goodall's a Democrat, by the way.
I don't
She's a
care.
She's
fucking
white first.
Democrat, bro.
She's white first. She's white
No,
first. She's born white.
she's a Democrat.
So what that
She's
mean?
like she's one of you people, man.
So
I'm
She's
she's
not
not
Democrat.
Democrat.
She's not
This is one
African.
of our people. I'm not a
No,
Democrat.
she is. She'll go to sleep at night and like hang out with you the next day.
Republican
She's a
either.
super liberal. She's a super liberal. Like fucking Rob just said. She's
Super.
like one of you guys, man. She's one of you guys, man. She'll go fucking cuddle with you at night. She hates
Probably
white
would, to be
people.
honest. If she's sleeping with has monkey,
She's sleeping with
language.
fucking monkeys, dude.
Wait. You're saying that Jane Goodall hates her own people?
Yes.
That's what
Really?
it sounds like. And white people are
No.
more like chimpanzees than us, honestly. Whites have
Have you
shaved hair on their back.
have you guys never seen a Jane Goodall video?
We have.
She
Uncle
hates
Juju's
white people, man.
I said a whole
She
bunch
hates
of her.
white people. She hates
Huh?
white people.
No, she don't. She just loves
Are you
chimpanzees.
fucking kidding?
That's all.
Dude, just watch a Jane Goodall
She
video.
kisses chimpanzees on the lips.
Right. They have the same type of lips. Look at Jane
Yeah.
Goodall's lips and look at the chimp's lips.
Of course she has, because she's fucking crazy, man.
She up there kissing them. Let me
Right.
call her kissing she be kissing. Like
Pantoot is the language she speaks.
Pantoot. That's it.
Right. Right. And if you shave a chimp's back, it looks just like your back, Damien. It looked the same. Damien left. Truth left. Too much truth.
Too much truth.
Right.
There she is. Pucker up.
Right. Right. Yeah, look, see? Same lips. Yep, there
Look.
she is.
This her when she was younger. Not somebody else.
Oh,
They
okay.
be kissing those goddamn monkeys, boy.
Sure. They be doing more than that.
Oh shit. Not Michael Jackson.
No.
No, Mike. Not the greatest. But I don't think Mike kissed his monkey.
I hope not.
That's the difference. Right? But this is her when she was younger. So she's been.
The monkeys turned her out, didn't they? Sure
I
did
don't
turn
know.
her out.
I don't know about that. But I know that she speaks Pantoot. I know she speaks Pantoot. And she know their language.
Yeah.
Right? She, she, she know their language. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
That's the
Let me
truth.
see. Let me put Jane Goodall chimpanzee language. No, seriously, y'all think I'm making this up. But I'm gonna show
Well, I've
y'all
heard
that
it. Yeah,
she
I've heard it.
actually talk. She actually talks in pants. She actually talk in a language, man. Which one is it? Jane Goodall. What separates us from chimpanzee? No, that's not it. Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall. Here it is, right here. Should chimps have rights? Featuring Dr. Jane Goodall. Here it is. It's right here. Listen up. This shit is a classic.
Right?
See that brain full of activity?
Yeah, I see
That's
it.
a healthy 18-year-old brain.
Uh-huh.
Mine is the other one. 55 years old and getting dimmer all the time.
Oh no.
Madam,
Okay.
Hello, I'm
Hello.
Jane Goodall.
I'm Danielle Defoe, and we talked about bonobos before, but we haven't really covered the pan troglodytes or the common chimpanzees. And who better to help us than Jane freaking Goodall?
Jane Goodall.
Common chimpanzees and bonobos are the only living members of the pan genus, and they're incredibly similar to humans.
Can you hear it?
Genetically, humans,
Yes, I can.
chimpanzees, bonobos, we're sort of equidistant. They're about 1.5% genetically different from us. And we are from the bonobo.
A thing we
1.5% genetic difference between them
Yep,
and a human. Did you hear that?
I heard it.
common is amazing intelligence, and a big part of that is communication.
Chimpanzees have many different calls that they use to communicate. And there's the distance greeting, which announces who I am and is listening to see who's out there.
The pantoots.
We call it the pantoot. There's the close-up greeting. We call it the pantoot. There's the close-up greeting.
Uh-huh.
There's
Oh, damn, I didn't mean to do that. My bad.
we call it the pantoot. There's the close-up greeting. There's means go away.
That mean what?
And means go away.
This is what you gotta tell the troll. When the trolls come on your broadcast,
Right? Speak.
There's means go away. And there's laughing when you're being tickled in the neck.
oh my gosh, that sounds sexy. Oh my gosh. Let's hear that one more time.
Like that.
But unlike bonobos,
That shit sounded sexy. What y'all
That's her
think?
back there. Is that her? Was that Jane Goodall back there? In that chimpanzee?
He dropping it, but they have a lot of sex up in the bush. Gosh, whew. I don't know, man. That pantsuit is something else, ain't it?
It sure is. I had to go take me a cold shower. You know? So,
That shit sounded hot.
right.
Could you imagine your old lady making that noise as soon as you
I
walk in the room?
can't. Right.
Shit. You miss me like that? You miss me like that? For real? For real?
That's the truth, Uncle Juju. That's the truth, King. Yes, indeed.
All right, let's get serious, man.
Yes, sir.
What's the origin of the so-called white man. We got to get to the
Right.
bottom of this, and we got to get to the bottom of it now.
Right.
Okay. No more,
And
no more driving. Okay.
right.
Or
And also,
fooling
how do we
around.